Hi, here's another video about the progress of my 2006 Impala SS restoration project. And what you see here is this is a collection of my rocker panels that are going to need to be assembled. Both sides are here. One side is complete and finished and ready to go, and the other side it needs work, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, here's just kind of another quick overview of progress here. What you see here is this is the entire trunk floor. I just decided to pull that out, and it's been completely sandblasted and slather coated, multiple coats, and top to bottom, inside and out. And it's had some patchwork done on it here and there, and it has it's ready to go back in when the time comes, but that's not going to be for a while. And so as you can see, everything in here is real open. You can just get right up in here, and you can stand in here and work in here, and everything is, we got a lot of work coming along in here, a lot of patches I made and some other things. And, I just got this rubber bumper is just hanging on here because I needed it for fit up. Just to make sure it's going to fit when I get done here. There's some holes that I patched up along this wheel opening, and a whole bunch of other stuff I did in there, and some upgrades and stuff that I'm not gonna really get into that. There's some patches there on the end panel, and down here these are 3 of the 4 wheel tubs, both of the outers and 1 of the inners, and they've been these are new, and they've been completely conditioned, and I'm hand fitting them and just standing up in there, and I have to do a lot of hand fitting and make sure this stuff's going to fit and everything, so that's why they're just laying there. And then over here there's a collection of some new parts and reconditioned parts. I've got a pair of new rear subframe rails. So there's one, and there's the other subframe rail there, and this is a piece that goes across where the the tunnel, and it forms the mount for the front of the rear seat, and it's a structural member, and that's all been sandblasted and reconditioned. This is a new piece that I bought from GM and deconstructed, slather coated it inside and out. By the way, slather coat, that's the Eastwood Platinum. The Eastwood encapsulator platinum product. I've already done videos on that. I like it a lot. Everything's been coated. I call it slather coat, so this stuff's all been slather coated. This piece has been deconstructed, slather coated inside and out, and then welded together. Here's something you might find interesting. Where this piece was plug welded back onto this cross member, this flange piece. Okay, these were all coated, and then what you see here is just the burned area around that weld. And what's remarkable is how well this slather coat, it resists heat. So I mean, there is going to be burning, and there's nothing you can do about that. You have to recoat it. You gotta sand the whole darn thing again and recoat it, and it hasn't been done yet. But as you can see, this is a pretty hot weld right here. I really piled it on there, and what happens is, when you complete the weld, it's on fire. Okay, this is flaming, and you have to blow it out. But then, okay, that's how much. I'll have to sand that, and but the thing is, underneath, okay, where these 2 parts mate underneath, okay, that's all been slather coated before I plug welded it back together, because that's what I wanted. And I wanted it to be internally coated. So most of that internal coating, except right around the weld, is intact. Okay, and the amount of burning is actually, yeah, you're going to have that, and I got things I can do about that too. But anyways, the point I'm making here is this stuff's pretty heat resistant, and it says on the label that it's good for up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And from, you know, I've done a lot of welding through on this stuff, and it pretty much, you know, the burn damage is contained. And so anyway, what all these holes are for here, there's going to be plug welds. It has to go, that flange is going to go right here, and these two holes here made up with these two. And so by the time you have to plug weld this to this, each one of these cross member, or each one of these subframe rails, it's a cross member, and then there's bolts that go and hold what's called a cradle, and I've got that new, and that thing, that's where all of your suspension, your rear suspension, your control arms anchor to that. So you're going to make, that's going to be all plug welds in this area, and then by the time you bolt that together and make a sandwich out of it, it's pretty strong. So anyways, and then this piece here is like this is like the rearmost piece. They call this the web, and it goes across. It's a cross member at the very rear, just inside the rear bumper, and I've had this all deconstructed. This is original, and I sandblasted it, deconstructed it, slather coated everything inside and out, then re-welded it together. And also I put a reinforcement in there because this thing here, I use this as a jacking point. You can jack up the back of the car with this here, except this sheet metal isn't really as strong as it should be. You're not really supposed to jack it from there, but I did. I put a jack right on there. Well, it kind of got dented in, so in order to fix that problem, I took a piece of 1/8 inch thick stock, an L-shaped piece of 1/8 inch thick stock that'll just stiffen that right up in there. So yeah, you know, I hammered out the little dented in spot and everything, and then so yeah, this, by the time I get this welded back in there, it should be jackable. Should be able to, because well, I jacked up the car using that spot. I put a block of wood there and jacked it up many times. And so anyway, that'll help reinforce that. And then this is an outer wheel tub, and this thing is like 3 pieces. This is new, and it's all been deconstructed, and now I have it's all been welded back together. And you can see where I made plug welds. You know, these this comes in like 3 pieces. There's a piece right there, and another piece right there, heavy stock, and these make a triple sandwich here. And this is for your shock tower. That's where the McPherson strut comes out the top. Those 3 holes are where it bolts down. So anyway, this whole thing has been completely deconstructed, completely slather coated inside and out, re-welded back together. You can see the burn marks where I made the welds, and then that's all been sanded and recoated again. This has been coated multiple times, and I've shot this inner sandwich. You can get up in here from underneath and around in the sides and stuff, and that's all been shot full of internal frame coating. I call that stuff frame shot. So it's all been shot like crazy in there to address these burned areas and recoat them, and then the whole thing has been sealed with seam sealer, and it's left open at the bottom for water drainage if anything gets in there, condensation or whatever, and it's all sealed from the top and everything. And so this thing is about as well protected and about as solid as it can get. That's a brand new piece. It's been completely deconstructed, recoated, reconstructed, and you know, that's about as good as you can get. And these brand new cross members have been completely slather coated inside and out. Very tough, rugged stuff. And so that's the status of these here. And now I'll go over to what I got going here with these rockers. And what you see here is this is from the right hand side. This is an internal reinforcement, and this thing here is made well, you've got an outer skin. So this is the top, and there's an outer skin that goes from a pinch weld on the top to a pinch weld on the bottom. And as you can see, this is the front, and as you can see going to the rear, it's like gone. It just it completely rotted away, so there's nothing left there. But I only need what I need here. What I need off of this is what you see right here. I just need to cut, this section off of here and weld it on to this piece of structural tubing, 1/8 inch wall 2x4 tubing. And I've taken this, I had to make some modifications to this and put an angle on the front and put a step. This is the front end, and I basically made a mirror image. So same thing, mirror image. You know, you got the same thing here. Holes for there's water drains have to go through there and stuff like that. And this step has to be there because the bottom of the fender comes and mounts here, and it's got to have clearance for that. So anyway, I made a video of how this has all been fitted up. This is the left-hand side, and this is ready to go. And I have this piece here. This is the inner. This basically this surface here faces to the interior of the vehicle. And what I need to do, the reason why I have this, what's left of this reinforcement. This whole thing goes inside the rocker panel, and this is what makes it a structural member because of the unitized chassis. The unitized construction, you have to have reinforcement inside those rockers. They can't be hollow. So what you have here is there's like 5 stampings made out of heavy gauge stuff that are all sandwiched together, and this is, you know, this is all badly rusted. This is the front end, okay, so this is facing forward here. And the thing is, I don't need any of this stuff in here. And it goes to the rear, and as you get further rearward, it's just completely missing from rust. But all I need is what you see here, okay? Is just the top of this. Because what this thing does is this is where, you know, this section along here, what we're following here, this goes to the pinch weld, which is right along here, this top pinch weld. So, and it just follows. And if you look at the other side, okay, you can see where it follows along. My finger was taking it out of focus, but that's going to form a triple sandwich there. And so I need the top of this. All I need is the top of the outer skin, which is what you see I've done here, okay? All I've done is taken the very top of this, cut it off of there, and welded it to this tubing. I had to make a spacer here so it lands where I need it to be. And it's all been slather coated in and out, so that's basically what I'm going to do here. That's what I've got this for. There's a few spot welds, okay, that need to be, that's where, see these holes here, there's a few spot welds that need to be drilled to release that from the inner stampings, and then I have to just cut it, you know. I'm gonna cut it right along here, okay, and then you know, once you get to about this part here, you got to cut down and you know, take this with you, and then go back up, and then, but all you're looking for is this top pinch weld. And see, the thing is, it's completely rusted away on the bottom, but the top is pretty much there. I have to clean up some of this. This will need to be sandblasted, but you know, the other side was like that too. This stuff, it'll clean up. There's enough of it left. It's not, you know, and like towards the front, it's very clean. Don't have to worry about that. But so that's what I got this here for, is I need to steal just enough off of this to get what you see here, and then I had to attach that to this tubing by, I made some little metal gussets, like little triangles, and welded them in there. And they ain't the prettiest welds, and they don't have to be. Nobody's going to look at them, okay? It's all it needs to be is solid enough to tie this whole thing together, because, you know, what you're looking at now here, this hull, I don't know if you see that, but this whole thing, you can see it wiggles the whole, right? Without that rocker in there, basically the way I got this thing now, I wanted to have it on a rotisserie, but I can't. Not right now, because there's nothing. With the floor gone, the rocker's gone, and everything like that, the only thing that's supporting is the roof. And so it's got to be all put back together. Eventually I'm going to have it on a rotisserie where I can flip it over, but not until the whole darn thing is pretty much all put back together. The rockers have to be reconstructed. The floor's got to be back in and everything. It's got to be, you know, it's got to be put back together, or it will not support the weight. You'll bend the roof. So, anyways, that's what I got going here. I got this this piece of 2x4 tubing. Basically, I already did another video of how this all fits in there. It's just you couldn't see exactly how I did this. But what happens is this inner piece. This is for the left-hand side, and I already had a video of this in there. But you know, it's going to go. It goes like that, and it sandwiches together. Okay, and then that goes to what you see there. You know, the door. You know, the door sill pinch weld area, and so that's going to form a triple sandwich in there. And then when you've got this tubing in here, okay, that's basically this hunk of structural tubing is going to take the place of this whole assembly that you see right here. That's the inside reinforcement, and it's very simple and much stronger. I don't think there's anything to worry about. It's going to be very strong. So anyway, then the other issue I've got is, well, this inner panel here. This is a new one from GM. And the thing is, it's the last one. You can't get any more. I have the last one. Now I rule the world. Anyways, could not get this side. Okay, this is the left-hand side. Could not get the right-hand side. Not available. So this is the old one. As you can see, it's pretty well rust ravaged. And this is the rear. So we're facing rearward here. And this is the front. So you see that this is what the rear looks like. It's a mirror image, okay? So that's what the front looks like. So basically, I have to, I can't save this, but what I have planned here is I have me a simple piece that I've just stamped out as a jumping off point, and it pretty much, it forms this, okay, what you see right here matches up with what you see right here, all the way across, okay? Except it doesn't have this angle, so I'll have to modify that. That's not a big deal. You know, it's not really complicated. So and then you know, this front piece, I can punt with that. It's not like super critical. I might be able to clean this up, but if you look at this from the inside. You know, the very bottom of it, but it's pretty sharply defined about, you know, where it's gone and where it's still clean, and it's clean up here. And I do need this upper part. So what I need to do is I'm going to, you know, again, because this is the pinch weld part that's all got to sandwich together after I steal this off of this and put it on this, just like what you see here, okay, all welded to this nice heavy piece of tubing. Then I got to make this. I got to steal as much as I can from the clean top of this, and the top's pretty clean. And I'll splice what I can save off the top of this to this, and I'm going to have to make some contours. I'm going to have to hammer some contours in it. They're not really complicated, and nobody cares what they look like. They just have to fit into something. If they look kind of, you know, primitive, if they don't look as clean and well defined and as these, that doesn't matter. As long as they made up where something needs, you know, there's a piece that needs to go here and another piece that needs to go here, and they need to made up with that. So that's what I got next going on. Is I have to get everything ready for the right-hand side and then get it all fitted up. And then when the two rockers are all squared away, that's when I can go to the back end and get the tubs in and the floor in. The thing is, the rockers, they have to go in first. okay, before the tubs can go in. The rockers have to be all squared away, and they go in first. And because the tubs are going to end up fitting to the back, that rocker piece comes right out the back here, and the tubs have to fit to it. So, and you can't get the rockers in there while the tubs are in. So the rockers go together first, then the tubs go in next. And then after the tubs are in, then the floor goes back in. So that's what I got going. So anyways, you know, I'll let you know how it all turns out. Thanks for watching. So long.